Palestinians look at the destruction following the Israeli attack in Rafah, southern Gaza Strip. Thursday, January 18, 2024. Jerusalem. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Thursday rejected U.S. calls for Israel to reduce its military offensive in Gaza Strip or take steps toward establishing a Palestinian state after the war, drawing an immediate rebuke from White House. The back and forth reflected tensions between two allies, which has escalated into a broad disagreement over scope of Israel's war and plans for future of besieged region. "We clearly see it differently," said White House National Security spokesman John Kirby. Netanyahu spoke just a day after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said Israel could never have real security without a path to Palestinian independence. Earlier this week, the White House also announced that the time is right for Israel to reduce the intensity of its devastating military offensive in Gaza. At a nationally televised news conference, Netanyahu struck a defiant tone, repeatedly saying that Israel would not stop its attacks until it achieved its goals of destroying the Hamas militant group in Gaza and bringing home any remaining hostages held by Hamas. He rejected claims from a growing number of Israeli critics that those goals could not be achieved, and vowed to move forward for months. "We will not settle for anything other than an absolute victory," Netanyahu said. Israel launched the offensive following Hamas' unprecedented cross-border offensive on October 7, which killed 1,200 people and took 250 hostages. Israel believes approximately 130 hostages are in Hamas captivity. The war has increased tensions across the region and threatened to spark further conflicts. The staggering cost of war has led to increasing calls from the international community for an end to offensive. Israel's closest ally, United States, began voicing concerns after providing wall-to-wall support for Israel in the early days of war and called on Netanyahu to explain his vision for post-war Gaza. The U.S. has said the internationally recognized Palestinian Authority, which governs semi-autonomous areas in the Israeli-occupied West Bank, should be revived and returned to Gaza. Hamas took away power in Gaza in 2007. The United States also called for steps to be taken towards the establishment of a Palestinian state. These regions fell into Israeli hands in 1967. Speaking at World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, on Wednesday, Blinken said the two-state solution is best way to protect Israel, unite moderate Arab countries and isolate Israel's archenemy Iran. He said Israel cannot have real security without a road to the state of Palestine. At the same conference, Saudi Arabia's foreign minister said the kingdom was ready to establish full relations with Israel as part of a larger political agreement. But this can only happen through peace and a Palestinian state for the Palestinians, he said. Netanyahu, who leads F.